Okay. I just got Windows 10, Windows 11 corporate, the corporate one, OS, so I could put the EDR on my computer. Um, that's been pretty cool to kind of mess around with. All right, I'm probably gonna have to change one of these rules, but let me already keep it up. Just want to see if my services are gonna start, if I'm gonna have to go through the same freaking BS I did last time. If that's the case, then I'm probably gonna have to leave that one virtual machine on if it does that every time.
Make sure you're not logged in the console.
I'm not. If anybody's wondering what I'm doing, I'm just RDPing into the machine right now. I just provisioned the cloud resources from Azure, um, and I've already got everything pre-configured on there. And now I'm just going to try to log in. Tool agent. So this is the agent. This is what the executable looks like in the process tree when you look it up. So I actually whitelisted it from the EDR, but the EDR actually still picks it up. So I don't know about that, but whatever.
Wait, so as far as it saying Splunk D, you saying like the
I could rename it to anything.
okay, but as
Yeah,
far as like
that's just
the attack emulations, does it come through as Splunk D?
that's what the parent process will look like.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the command and control agent
Okay.
on the machine. Yeah. Um, executable name Splunk D.
Because
So when
that's
I
interesting because I would figure if something's trying to pick something up, and especially if you have Splunk on there, if it's
yeah
an actual attack, it might ignore Splunk D.
it might, and that's the whole point, and that's why this is the default configuration for this. That's why they put that here.
Um,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
to be slick. That's the whole point, you know.
That makes sense.
And then you can set how long it sleeps before it re-beacons out and checks in.
Wow.
Stuff like this. Let me see. Yeah, contact HTTP.
I like it because that can go completely unnoticed.
Yep. All right, so now we pivot over to operations, and then what we can do is just say I don't know, emulation test one. Let's do this. And it's going to run the adversary profile for what I just chose. For whatever its check was, it's going to start going through all of those things for that profile. So we can see it ran a who am I. Nothing. See, now that's the thing that I don't get. It's not returning me any value.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who am I? I think is this a Linux? This might be a Linux thing.
Who am I?
Is it? Is who am I? Who am I working with Windows 2?
I think so. Yeah, I think I've ran that
Okay.
before. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have ran that before because I was trying to figure out the credentials I needed to enter into Nessus, and I was testing the Windows VM. So I think it works for both.
All right. But we can see it's going through these different commands and stuff. List directory,
Gotcha.
and we should be seeing stuff come in from Defender. I think it's grouping a lot of this stuff up though in one of these alerts. I gotta check. But anyway, so what we can actually do though is the way that I ran that PowerShell stuff last time. Let me see. Invoke Mimikatz, right?
Hmm.
Let's do this right here. I wanted to try to invoke Mimikatz. And then not only can we, do all that stuff, but what we can also do is, choose the obfuscation that we want to use. Base 64 jumble, C-star steganography. So I'll put base 64.
So as far as like when some of these are ran, is there ever a time where your output says like successful or like
It's see the thing is, I think it might have something to do with my VMs. I haven't figured that out yet because the output should say something for some of these.
yeah?
That's what I'm not sure what's happening with that.
Uh-huh. So
But the thing is though is that I know that it's running. I know that they're running because damn, I might have to switch my screen there so that it'll look better. Sure, different screen.
because I know when I was trying to like look up the details about how Caldera operates, I know it was saying it was an emulation. So I'm thinking like it's just sending the context of what the attack would consist of to be picked up, but I didn't know if it was actually trying the attack. And like would it say like gain like a shell or gain like access to a user account or something like that?
Yeah, it should. It should because, and how I know that it should is that it'll actually when you're running like exfiltration,
Uh-huh.
when you're running an exfiltration, it'll fucking store the files here.
Mm.
So if I was to run an operation theoretically for exfiltration, and it gets access to those files, it should store those files here.
Mm. Okay, so it does when it's running these scripts, it's actually grabbing things and
Yeah.
actually okay. So yeah, that's what's weird because I thought like maybe it was just sending the context of what would be done in a
Mm-hmm.
if it ran a script, but I didn't know if it was actually running the script.
Oh yeah, it's actually running the script, and we can tell. Oh wait, damn, I didn't even show you. Here, I didn't even have that. Oh, I was talking about the exfil files thing, but I didn't even have the right screen on. Let me change my screen again. Come on. So you see this right here?
Yeah,
So
exfil files.
so literally there's an area here that you can go to. You click on this, and it's got a section for exfil files.
Mm,
So it's actually doing these things, um, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
for sure. I wouldn't
But
know if I was comfortable running it on my actual device, but I would run it on a virtual machine.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely run on a virtual machine type of thing. But hell, uh, yeah, no, I was gonna say I would run. Well,
I mean, like, it's probably necessary, but until I feel like I get to the point where I run it right and I still
yeah,
protect my own, computer without giving access to whoever, you never know. You never know what you could be doing by accident. So,
that's true for sure.
I definitely have to learn how this works before I want to try to run it on my own stuff.
I mean, but honestly though, so here's my thing, right? I think this is fine what we're doing now because here's proof that some of these these are working, right?
Hmm.
Here's one of the PowerShell scripts you detected earlier. The thing, and that's another thing too. I don't know why. It's obviously not because I don't see any new events
Hmm.
coming in, and we're running this stuff. So there's some obviously like buffer time. I don't know how much buffer time or whatever, but there's definitely stuff happening. But not stuff happening, but there's definitely like a delay
Yeah,
from
for
when
the
it
report
happens
show
and
up.
yeah. And I mean I think that's normal though, right?
I would assume just because um, I know sometimes, I mean, just even with Splunk, when you set some things up to do some type of like analysis, occasionally, whenever just configured something, sometimes it can be a delay time before you actually get what you're looking for. And you'll think that it's not working. So I've experienced that before with Splunk, so I'm assuming that it could happen anywhere else.
Yeah, I think right. I think that's what's kind of happening here. I wonder if let me look at the actual EDR itself. Let me see if we can see anything in there. That should load. Jesus Christ. But this is super cool. I love Defender EDR console. I mean, PowerShell executed a script. Yeah, look at all the stuff they're trying to do.
Sheesh.
And all of this is from Caldera.
Dang. This makes the attack aspect of everything a lot easier to run tests on, because I was thinking, I got my Kali Linux instance set up in AWS, and I'm thinking like, yeah, we'll see if we can run some type of, possible attacks manually. But with the fact that it runs this thing so quickly, might as well just run it through this.
Right.
I mean, because like I know Al-twann is like, he's got some red team, a little red team, expertise, but at the same time, it's like, it's definitely not gonna be as quick as this.
Yeah, definitely. Especially across multiple machines, it's definitely probably. But I think we use both because I don't think that I think that we should use like scanning, like use like a Kali box to do like map scan and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be useful,
For
or
sure.
like Metasploit scanning or something like that. Or yeah, I definitely think that'd be useful. But as far as like the PowerShell scripts and stuff, this is gonna be a lot faster just because it's automated.
Yeah.
But for scanning, I can definitely use Kali boxes. Plus, it'll look more real.
Yeah.
Since it'll be coming from external IP.
Yeah. For sure.
Let's stop my share.
Gotcha. Just to give you an update too, I had the wrong username. That's why I was making that.
Oh, the whole time?
Yeah, it was the wrong username. I deleted the rule. It still works. I didn't need the 3350 rule. So I don't know if that might be the same thing for you. I just, like I said, I hadn't used the Kali box for a minute. So
nah, I'm positive that my username is right. I haven't changed it.
okay.
So
yeah, so that's all I had. But Al-twann for sure, man. If you ready.
All right, 1 second, I'm gonna share. So yeah, I'm gonna run through this lab here. It's a Palo Alto, pretty much a lab that, yeah, it essentially works with firewall configs and some log files. And I just, this one wasn't self-built like you guys got going, but this is something that we can kind of look at here. So it lines me up. I got a client that I work through, got the firewall, the DMZ, and even a virtual router. It's showing the topology of the network, client, switch pretty much, the DMZ. Outside, boom, this is the external network here. And then this is the router, this is the virtual router here. Little topology here. Even shows the RDP connection on the client. The switch here. And this this router. This is the DMZ server here. Let me see. All of them got the little sign in, different sign ins. I'm already signed in actually on the client. Get this out of the way. So again, I'm already in. I signed in pretty much. And it wants you to, first you need to load a configuration snapshot on, look for it pertaining to the particular lab we in. It's lab 4. Check it to make sure it did it. You can see that it was done on that in that tasks manager. You see the load was just completed, so we're good to go. All right, so after you do things, you're gonna need to commit it or save it basically. Any changes that you make to a firewall, a Palo Alto firewall, you'll need to commit it. Takes a few minutes here, not even minutes, moments. I'm gonna start off by creating a layer 3 network interface once it's finished. Close it once it's finished. Section, we create a layer 3 interface on the firewall that will provide basic network connectivity to the production network. I have a network. It gives me the user's network, a network with production servers, and then that one, and then a network connecting a firewall to an upstream internet router. So it looks like we'll hit network, interfaces, boom, and then Ethernet, it's already selected. I'm gonna click on Ethernet 1, interface, boom. The common internet connection. So essentially what I'm doing, making a pathway for 3 different networks here. Okay. Select the IVP. Oh, wait, I gotta go. IPv4 tab. Set it, just make sure it's set to static. Under the IP heading, click add. And I enter this 203. .20. Correct. Okay. All right, so we got the first interface set up on port 11. We're on the second one now. Network connection. Layer 3 as well. And if you guys can see, it's about 5 different interface types. You got a tap. I don't know what the HA stands for, but virtual wire, layer 2 and layer 3. I need to review what HA stands for. Oh, that's none on that NetFlow profile. Make sure it's set to static. We're gonna add the IP. Okay, 1.1.24. It's a tedious job, man, when you're trying to do configs, man. Again, you guys are doing this from the ground up. Kudos to you all, because it's a lot going on with these configurations. Got to be very, very attention to detail.
Yeah, the configuration takes forever. And no one really wants to watch. I mean, not watch, but like no one really gets the credit they deserve for setting things up. You know what I mean? It's always the people who are just running around and like making everything look nice that always get the all the kudos.
Yep.
Attention to detail is crazy, man. But that's why they get paid the big bucks behind the scenes, the behind the scenes stuff, man. It's where it's at.
Agreed.
This one is 192.168.50. All right, boom. All right, so we got all 3 of those with their respective IP addresses. We'll leave it open and continue to the next task. Here we're gonna create the virtual router. So here, boom, virtual routers. Off to this left here. Click default. Virtual router, default window, rename it to LabVR. So you'll get named, basically you'll be naming your virtual router. And add those 3 interfaces we just created. Boom. Ethernet 2 and 3. All right. Add it. Okay. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Oh, static routes. I go static routes first. Under the tab, IPv4, add at the bottom. Wait. Destination 0000. Interface at port 1. And then the IP address 203.0.113.1. All right. First one's added, as y'all can see. So default window, hit OK. And then we segment the production network using security zone. Security zones are a logical way to group physical and virtual interfaces on the firewall to control and log the traffic that traverses your network through the firewall. An interface on the firewall must be assigned to a security zone before the interface can process traffic. That makes sense. A zone can have multiple interfaces on the same type. For example, TAP, layer 2 or layer 3 interfaces assigned to it, but an interface can belong to only one zone. With your network interface and virtual router in place, you can now create security zones, and we're going to create 3 of them. We're going to go to zones here. Going back to the add, so we can create a new one. Boom. There, this one is internet. This is the internet zone we're creating right now. It's a layer 3 type. We'll add the interface we want. And then we're going to hit OK. We're going to add the second one. This one's called users net. It's layer 3 2. Add the interface, respective interface, Ethernet port 2. Okay. And then that last one is the extranet. Network here. Boom. Oops. Didn't make it layer 3 yet. All 3 of those zones were added. Commit this. Any questions so far?
Nah, I'm good. Doing a good job, man.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, networking was not my strong suit, but definitely had to at least learn the basics. But definitely not a nitty gritty networking person, that's for sure.
Type eyes for it, man. It's crazy. It's a build. That's why we build with each other, man. Everybody got their own, you know what I'm saying, spin on it.
Absolutely. Strengths and weaknesses. Not everybody's perfect at everything.
Shoot, I think it's honestly impossible to be perfect at everything in cyber. You always learning.
Facts.
Minimize this right here. We're going to test the connectivity to each zone using Remina. All right, say double click the firewall. It's connecting now. I'm gonna hit OK on that joint. Go, let's ping it. Let's see what's going on. Boom. Source 192.168.1.1. Host 192. want to see. Say, got one. See what happened. Oh, it's pinging. Control C to start that joint. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep pinging. All right. So it was successful. We're gonna use it to ping the check connectivity to the host of the extranet is on now. So kind of change a few of these. So get 51. There you go. All right, they both those zones are working. Last one we're gonna test is the one for the internet. I'm gonna do it one more time here. It looks like that one is 203, the 203 one. So then I was doing jobs before this where they were trying to rush me and I wasn't doing good. But now finding a job that you can take your time and make sure you do it right and get paid to do it right, it makes you feel like you more in your own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Definitely agree.
All right,
Looking
so
at.
what'd you say?
Oh no, you good?
Okay. All right, so we can close that. With Remina, we saw, and that's all it is a remote desktop client. We saw that it works. So now we can close out of that. Then going back to the terminal emulator. No, test interface access before management profiles now. Management interface profiles allow you to enable specific network services.
Hey, I'm a 1 second. Sorry to interrupt. Well, y'all about to hate me. Y'all wanna know what the issue was?
It's something simple as my issue.
I had a space at the end of my fucking username.
Hey,
that's what I'm saying. Look,
we had the same
figure it
issue.
out.
Oh man, dude, that's hilarious.
We had the same issue.
That is hilarious, man. I cannot believe this.
Tell you, man, the attention, man, the detail, man, because you're working, so you're on the grind. You're not thinking about the small things, man.
Yeah, as soon as I mean, to be honest with you, though, they need to build things in a way, and I know it's not secure to tell somebody that, hey, you got your username wrong, just in case you're not really giving like free chicken to someone that's actually trying to breach your network. But at the same time, it would be greatly appreciated if they would say, hey, your login failed instead of failed on this port. Like now you're thinking, all right, dang, my whole security configuration's all jacked up.
Right. Oh, man, dude, that's
All good, bro. But when we test the interface access for management profiles, you're basically doing that to you want to illustrate the default behavior of a firewall interface. So when you do it, when I just pinged it, I didn't get anything back. Both ping and SSH failed because I don't have a interface management profile set up yet. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we want SSH into the firewall first.
Just to give y'all a heads up, at 1 o'clock, I'm gonna still be on my computer. I'm just gonna have to jump off of my phone, and I gotta do like 2 Zooms at the same time. So I may have to like watch the playback of if Michael and Donnell, if y'all do a demo too, I'll just watch the playback, and then I'll see if I can hop back in if y'all are still on.
all right.
After I got this other Zoom.
I'm cooking with fire now.
Gotcha.
Start doing some stuff. Oh, dude, that's so crazy, man. I can't believe that. Jesus Christ.
Right, so I also make the profile now network profiles right here. Interface management right here. Of course, we're gonna add it. One, interface management. I'm gonna do another one here. This one is the allow management. I have HTTPS, SSH, SNMP, response pages in the user ID. All of those here are going to be included. Oh, MP. All right, select network, interfaces, Ethernet, and then this one. Advanced window. Under other info, use the drop down from the management profile. And we're going to do the allow ping for that one. So we're setting that Ethernet internet face for that particular management profile. I'm going to do this one. And we're going to do the allow management one. Advanced, management profile, allow management. Click OK. I'm going to hit yes. By attaching this internet management profile to this interface, you're potentially exposing this firewall's administrative interface to any party that can reach it. Yeah, we want to do it though. Because this interface is connected to one of the internal networks, users net, the risk of applying this profile is acceptable. Any other time, it wouldn't be. You don't want to leave the open internet access to this network. But, you know, again, it's a firewall, so it's going to ask you to make sure you know what you're doing. All right, we're going to advanced on the last one here. And again, this one's going to be allow management. And again. All right. It looks like that. Allow ping for Ethernet 1 and then allow management for Ethernet 2 and 3. Again, you want to save these changes or commit them. Test them here in a second. Once it's done. Actually, I don't have to wait for this to save because it's already, you know, configured. So what we'll do is we can just go back to terminal. Well, it wouldn't do it unless there was a management profile set up. Sudo. Gonna elevate it to super user because it's a management profile. You need to have some elevated privileges to get there. So we're gonna SSH. Two, 168.1.1. Boom. Check it. Are you sure you want to connect and continue connecting? Yes. I'll ask me for the password. Let's get it. You know, Palo, alto, exclamation, boom. All right, I'm in. That's the end of this lab, man. We ran through it. We created those interfaces. We created a management profile so we can log in. So that part of the firewall configuration has been set up using. Oh, we also set up zones too, so that the data can know where it would be basically be transmitting to and from. Are there any questions, bro? And if it isn't, you know what I'm saying, let me know. But please feel free to ask me anything you guys need to.
Good job, Al-twann. Yes, definitely. Not always easy getting a good ping, so it's good stuff.
Yeah, I like it. Definitely got to go back through. I'm gonna go back to the recording and check it out again, so I get a full gist of how that whole walkthrough was done. But I like it. Valuable insight.
Yeah,
I
networking
can-
is the highway of the information system. So without networking, you ain't gonna have nothing.
Agreed.
I know you said that you're probably about to drive, but